Maharashtra, Ambedkar urged the Devdasi women to, especially because they are from Dalit and other suppressed castes, to give up the regressive religious practice. This is not something they went out of their choice. This is the religious practice pulled them, pushed them into that kind of a state. They were not ready to, share their bed with whomever comes, lies down next to them. It was the religious practice. If they say no, they'll be beaten up. Can you imagine the way that Indian society was treating women? But again, the irony is, you say that in India we look at women like this. We call goddess in the names of women, right? And they have a special status in the society. We name rivers, mountains in the name of women, all that. But what exactly the ground root level reality of the position of women in India is the question. And then religious practice of offering to change the diapers. It is not only women's work. It is not assigned only for women. Right? And also more than 50 members. If an employer having more than 50 employees, any organization having more than 50 employees, they have to have a creche type, the crush. So what do you mean by crush? Means they should have a special room to feed babies, to change diapers, and then they should have a small lawn where they can leave their children in that. And they can get back to their work, finish their work, and then take the children along with them and then go. But you can see how many organizations have this facility for women. And that bill says that, there should be washrooms, clean washrooms, everything. But you can find, and this was passed in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, where there are only two states which passed this bill. And when they did survey recently, it was only 20%. In Bangalore, it is IT hub, so you can find little changes. They will show, because that is very important. Because just see now earlier it was joint family, but now it is all nuclear family. It is only there is responsibility to take care of child. And in the name of child, you cannot get off from the work for so long years as well. You have to balance. So, and then women should get a provision even to work online if if there is a chance to perform, give her performance through online. Yet she has to be allowed to do such things. So, but you can imagine organizations having more than 50 members, they should be having all these facilities. But it depends, which state will take action on this, how it will be channelized. Okay. Then coming to other, so he believed in women organization. So he says in All India Depressed Class Women's Conference Nagpur, I am a great believer in women's organization. So when are we going to bring change? So why you need organization? Because together we become strong. That is how women's movement started. Correct. There were a lot of women, they came out, right? And then even when you see, when we fought for Indian independence, you can find, a lot of Indians came on roads asking for freedom. So organizations are very, very important. Correct? Why are we today, why am I standing before you, and then why you people are sitting here? Because of the organization, which gave us the opportunity to discuss these kind of social issues. So he said that I am a great believer in women's organization. I know what they can do to improve the condition of the society if they are convinced. They should educate their children and instill high ambition in them. As a mother, we can inculcate few things in them so that they become a very good citizen and they become assets of the nation. And then Ambedkar's idea of equality. So political democracy cannot last unless there lies at the base of social democracy. So political democracy should become, that will become more powerful unless if there is social democracy. Social democracy means what? Society. Society means that should have equality, liberty, and fraternity. Then all citizens would be equal before law, and he said that there is no point in having any biased ideas, and no point in you discriminate based on race, gender, and caste and religion. They should have equal rights, equal access to all institutions, conveniences and amenities maintained by or for the public. They possess equal opportunities to settle or reside in any part of India to hold any public office. And then very, very important point of today's is Hindu Code Bill 1948. Right? He submitted Hindu Code Bill. So what exactly Hindu Code Bill is? So it gives more provisions for women. It is a kind of a shield for shielding women in the society, making her more empowered and more strong. So constitutional principles of equality, liberty, and fraternity. So this was based on these three principles of constitution, and he was sure that he can bring social change when women have equality in legal framework, right? And replace the regressive practices of Hindu law, because I have already said what were the Hindu law, how women were treated in the name of religion as such. And then family planning also he mentions, that is very important. So earlier it used to be 15, 18 children and all, but now family planning, he talks about family measures for women, and ensure the enactment of universal adult franchise, that is power to vote. Everyone. It is not only for people who have property, like Western what happened for women. Like it is not like that. Everybody had got the power of vote, right? So you can, if you have the habit of watching movie, the movie from Tamil industry, Nelson Mandela. So Mandela is the movie where it talks about the power of a very common man. Like how these big heads will come to their doorsteps asking for vote. So when you have the power of vote, you become powerful in the society. Then ensure the enactment of legalizing voting rights for women and other marginalized groups, equal right to property, succession, maintenance, marriage, and right to divorce also. Women got her right to divorce. Like she can come out of abusive marriages. And legal recognition of intercaste marriage. So when all these things that he submitted, the people, it shook the entire parliament because they were scared, because that will become threat to Hindu orthodoxy. So it is a big threat to patriarchy, because when women become so powerful, what will be the role of men then? They all wanted women to be just puppets in their hands. Correct? But when women becomes more powerful, what will be the question of people who deliberately dominates women? So that become a threat, and then they brought the traditional aspects also into this discussion, and then that was disturbing traditional family structure, because as one of the students, she was mentioning that I'm fine with intercaste marriage. What happens if my dad says no and all that? So that was a threat. Like when you talk about intercaste marriage, people who believe in this traditional family structure, that was a threat to it. So they don't want to accept it. So when lot of oppositions came, and then this bill was not passed in parliament. So it was like Ambedkar, he felt that it is a failure, because these people getting elected from people sitting on big chairs could not even understand the importance of women in the society and how best that we can bring give them a safe society. So if this bill is not passed, there is no point for me being the first law minister of India. So today we can see lot of people, they do resort Rajkarna. They jump from, it's like weighing frogs. They jump, you can't weigh frogs, can you? It will be jumping, right? The same way, today when you see the politics, people will, especially the leaders, so-called leaders, they jump from one party to other party just for the power, just to get the ministership. And you know the lobby, what they do. But what happened with Ambedkar? He resigned and he came off. He didn't want any money or something like that. He wanted to bring the change. He wanted to be, the one who, makes the plight of women better. And then, so when did this pass? Hindu Code Bill. It didn't pass when he was alive. After his death, it was passed, but not fully, like completely it didn't. Like few, acts were passed. Like 4 bills were passed in 1955 and 56. Hindu marriage succession, minority and lordship and maintenance. Okay, and in 1976, some changes based on liberty, equality, and fraternity. But women started understanding. Like 1970s, 1980s, we were all we had education. So some part or some section of women folk had education. They understood what the importance of Hindu code is, and that started feminist movement in India. And then you can see here a beautiful picture of Ambedkar standing with all other women. So he says that all workers should be grateful to Ambedkar. I say that all workers should be grateful to Dr. Ambedkar, especially women employees. As Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar framed many laws for women workers in India, such as Mines and Maternity Benefit Act and Women Labour Welfare Fund. Today we all talk about Provident Fund, PF, right? So it is based on his principle. And then Women and Child Labour Protection Act, because women and child, we have to protect them. We cannot make them to do hazardous work. And maternity benefit for women labour. So today we are getting paid leave. And then restoration of ban on employment of women on underground work in coal mines. So coal mines working, it's a very, very difficult thing, right? So what was happening? Women and even children were employed over there. But he brought a law where they should not be taken for that kind of hazardous work. And other pro-women acts, equal remuneration. These acts are based on his ideology of the society. And then Equal Remuneration Act, which was passed in 1976, Dowry Prohibition Act 1961, and equal wages for women. And what exactly women situation today? So women are still fighting issues like physical assault, verbal abuse,